All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. We will be starting in just a little bit. We'll wait for some more numbers to climb. All right.
Yes, welcome everyone. It's lovely to see you today.
Oh, we got some more people coming in.
I see the number.
It's so exciting.
Hi everyone. It's great to see you on the call. Thanks so much for joining us.
All right. We will begin very, very shortly, I promise. Okay. Should we begin? Should we wait?
Let's just give it another minute or so.
Okay.
And I can see some more people joining. So
No worries.
yeah. We were just sharing to the audience I'm addressing now, we were just sharing about how we all live in different parts of Canada and how different the weather has been over the last week. There's 4 of us that are in BC and the rest are in different parts of Ontario. And BC is having an uncharacteristically cool May. I guess it's June now. But the coolest one on record, I believe. And so we're just waiting for summer. And meanwhile, Ontario's been having a heat wave until today. So we've got somebody from Alberta.
Hi everyone. It's great to see you. Yes, well, Linda, let's not forget what happened last year around Canada Day, where it was like a desert here. So, I mean, it could happen any day now.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, it looks like the numbers have stabilized.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our topic today is going to be how to use your personal brand when job searching. And that is going to be hosted by our lovely career services team, Heather King Andrews and Snigdha Mathadi. I am also welcomed by Alexander Stancato, Emma Hartley, Andrew Woods, and of course, Linda Foster, and I am the employability coach. My name is Amanda Leche. So just a little housekeeping rules before we begin is that we want to encourage participation through our lovely Mentimeter. I believe Snigdha and Heather will have wonderful questions to get engaged. So please open up that Mentimeter. There will be a code when the presentation begins, and it will be very, very easy. And that website is menti.com, and you can just Google that. We will not be monitoring any questions and answers that will happen after. However, you are more than welcome to answer some questions during the chat or during the webinar. I apologize. All right, so I believe we can get started.
Thank you so much, Amanda. So I'm just going to share our presentation. Excellent. All right, so thank you so much for that segue, Amanda, and welcome everyone to our webinar, How to Use Personal Branding in Your Job Search. So I, Heather King Andrews, and my colleague Snigdha Mathadi are the hosts for today. So personal branding, what is it and how is it relevant in your job search? So your brand essentially is how you market yourself and what you have accomplished in terms of education, experience, etc. It's what makes you unique to employers and will be extremely useful when job searching and staying current in the job market. So in this webinar, we will explain what a personal brand it is and why it's important and how you can strengthen and manage your brand on your marketing documents, social media, and personal websites going forward like that. So before the presentation, I just want to begin with a land acknowledgement specific to our BC campus, which is the one that Snigdha and I are attached to, as well as some of the other people on the calls. So we acknowledge that the land Yorkville University operates on in British Columbia is the traditional unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, of the Krukwit and the Kwik-Kwitlam First Nations. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improving our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. Okay, so just a little bit about us before we go ahead and get started. So my name is Heather King-Andrews. I am the career advisor for the New Brunswick campus, and I assist with the Masters of Education, the MACP, the DCP, and the Bachelor of Interior Design students. And a bit about me is that I have a master's degree in educational counseling, and I also have the Career Development Practitioner certificate. And previous to this role, I worked as a co-op coordinator for arts co-op students at the University of British Columbia, and I also worked as an employment counselor for Work BC. And prior to that, I had a 14-year career in professional research in which I specialized in mental health and health sciences. And essentially, I have a passion for helping students in their career journeys and finding meaningful work. And so now I'd like to introduce my coworker and colleague Snigdha, who will just share a little bit about her. So Snigdha, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Heather, and thank you so much everyone for joining our session today. So my name is Snigdha Madhuri, and I'm the career advisor for our BC campus. So my portfolio includes BBA students, including BBA online and global students. So here's a bit about my background. So I have a Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Graduate Studies, and I also have more than 7 years of experience working in employment programs in BC and Alberta. So since 2017, I have been working in employment programs in the capacity of career and employment advising and helping students to explore their career options and to help them get prepared for the job market. So I recently got my CCDP candidacy designation from BC Career Development Association, and I am also a certified resume strategist from Career Professionals of Canada since 2020. So I am passionate about helping students to reach their full potential. Heather, it's to you again.
Thank you so much, Snigdha. Great. So here's what we'll cover in today's webinar. So first of all, we'll discuss what is personal branding. So what is the definition of a personal brand? Next, we'll discuss the importance of a personal brand, so the relevance of it. And then next, we'll discuss how to write a personal branding statement. And we'll also have a student example. So this will be the anatomy of a personal brand and how it can be written for a student just as yourself. Next, we'll discuss how to strengthen and manage your personal brand. And finally, we'll discuss the importance of a personal brand for your job search going forward like that. Okay, so on most calls that I do, I always love to get a sense of who the audience is on the call here today. So would love to hear where you're joining us from. So if everyone could kindly go to menti.com and please enter in the code that you see at the top of the screen, that'd be fantastic. I'll just give everyone a chance to do it. And we see that there's one person who said they're from other, oh, we have a BDI student, very nice, excellent. And so please go to menti.com, enter in the code and say where you're calling from today. Oh, wow. Seeing a great mix here. This is lovely. Excellent. So thank you so much for joining us here today, everyone. I'm really liking the mix and everything and really looking forward to hearing from all of you at the very end. All right. So personal branding. So what is branding? So as we can see, all the businesses, the little logos that we see on the slide here, they all have famous slogans and taglines that when we hear them, we instantly know what they stand for. So for example, Apple, their slogan is think different. Nike is just do it, something we've all heard of. LG, life's good. So these are all branding statements or brands, as you may have heard of them. And having said this, personal branding statements work the same way where people have unique qualities and what they are known for. And Yorkville University has a slogan, so that is your path, your purpose, your university, for example, as well as the Toronto Film School has a slogan, and that is dedicated to helping students realize their dreams. This just kind of gives you an idea of how branding works and how it can be translated over to us and students. Okay. So what is personal branding? So personal branding is a tagline, usually about 1 to 2 lines long, that states who you are as a person and what you represent. And so what are your values, your beliefs, your passions, and sense of purpose? It also specifies what you do, who you help, and what problems you aim to solve. So this is where you can show how you are unique in your originality like that. And in today's job market, your brand is what sells you and helps others to remember what you are known for and how you will benefit them going forward. And so where can we find one's personal brand? Well, this can be found on company websites, LinkedIn headlines, email signature blocks. And in the next few slides, we will look at some branding statements of successful entrepreneurs and business people, just to kind of give you a sense of how the personal branding works. Okay, so there are many different kinds of personal branding statements out there. So here we see an example of a personal trainer, a man by the name of Dave Nelson, who is speaking mostly to his audience. So he states, "I believe in you, now you must believe in yourself." So what he's doing is he's empowering his clientele by encouraging them to have faith in getting fit and staying healthy, as he once did for himself. So he's speaking from personal experience. And so this is how he's making his connection with people, by appealing to them emotionally, and therefore he's more memorable and more impactful in that regard. And I'll just show you a second example of a strong personal branding statement, and that is from a lady by the name of Marie Forleo. So she is an entrepreneur and a philanthropist and a host of her own TV show called Marie TV, where she states that the world needs that special gift that only you have. So Marie's brand aims to empower and inspire other entrepreneurs and people to follow and build their dreams by sharing their talents and gifts with the world. And so there's an example of some personal branding statements. And so I just wanted to share this great quote that I found by Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, where he states that your brand is what other people say about you when you are not in the room. So it's very relevant to our topic today. And in other words, you want your branding statement to be memorable, unique, and something that makes you stand out from the crowd. And so you are recognizable at all times, whether or not you're in person or not in person. And this will help your marketability and your job search immensely going forward like that. Okay, so now we're going to discuss why personal branding is important. So why do we do it? So first things first, it helps to build trust in your audience. So with employers, with clients, because it explains why and what you do and establishes your intentions and goals. And this helps others feel more comfortable as they feel that they know and can trust you. So trust in your audience is key. Secondly, it helps you build your network and find like-minded connections. And once your reputation grows, you will find more contacts to add to your network. And the relationship is reciprocal. So once people know you care about them, they tend to care about you. So it's very much a two-way street, just in that regard. Thirdly, your brand leads to building your credibility, where others see you as an expert and leader in your field. And this leads to gaining admiration and respect as a professional. And the more you connect with people and they see your value in your brand, your credibility will increase. So very much a feedback loop in that regard. Finally, or fourthly, by capitalizing on your positive qualities and strengths with your audience, your confidence will increase. And this also helps give you a sense of direction regarding where you can utilize your strengths. So certainly a benefit. Fifth, authenticity. If you have a strong personal brand that is rooted in passion, skills, goals, and values, the public will trust your brand and that you are who you say you are. So authenticity is key. And finally, employers are more likely to believe in you and have assurance when they see your uniqueness and how you can contribute to their organization by what you have to offer like that. So that essentially is why personal branding is important and why we should all use it going forward. And that brings me to my next question. So again, I would love to hear from the audience. And so if everyone could please go to menti.com and enter in that code. I would just love to hear from you. If you could please share just what are some qualities that help build your personal brand. So just want to go into the Menti and just say anything that comes to mind. And please remember that there are no wrong answers. I would just love to hear from you and what you think, what qualities will build your personal brand. So I'm seeing things, excellent. I'm seeing consistency. I'm seeing confidence. Very nice. Excellent. Are there any others that people would like to share? Trust. I love it. Good. Genuineness. Awesome. This is wonderful. Empathetic, yes, a very good leadership quality. A niche, like it. Look and feel to communications. Awesome. Kindness. These are excellent answers. Thank you so much, everyone. Great answers. Simplicity, confidence, ambitious, unique quality, accomplishment, genuineness. Wow, these are some great ideas and certainly helps me as well when I go back and I refine my brand and everything like that. So thank you so much, everyone. Love the answers. Very good. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to discuss just how to write a personal brand. So what are the mechanics? So in order to craft a well-developed branding statement for yourself, you need to include 4 main components, okay? So I'll delve into that. So first, expertise. What is your expertise? So this can be your education, special training, and what you're qualified for. So business administration, financial management, theater and film, graphic design, interior design. What are you qualified for? So your expertise. Secondly, what is the end result of your expertise? So you want to articulate how you will help people and what you will do for them that will be to their benefit. So how can you help people? So for example, you might have extensive work experience and training for clients with special needs as a caseworker, and this will be an immense benefit to a social service government department. Or you might be in school training to be an interior designer, and this will help private and public businesses and their workspaces. So you always want to emphasize your end game benefit and what you can do for others in that respect. So the third item is, who is your target audience? So it's important to always specify who you are presenting to, and this increases your credibility and trust from others. So target audience, so expertise, end game benefit, target audience. And the last you want to emphasize is your uniqueness. So what makes you stand out from the crowd? So let's say, for example, you were a high school teacher for 20 years, and now you want to transition into a career in counseling and psychotherapy. So because of your teaching role, you already have many transferable skills such as mentoring, leadership, group facilitation, one-on-one support, and these will augment your new counseling profession. Or perhaps you're currently working in the finance industry after obtaining your BBA in accounting, and you learned a few industry-related findings that were not taught in school. So you learned on the job and you learned as you went, and you could share this with others going forward like that. So expertise, end game benefit, target audience, uniqueness, 4 main parts to go into your personal brand. So next, your personal brand needs to have what is called the 3 C's. And I'm noticing some similarities with some very awesome responses that were mentioned in the last slide. I'll actually be repeating a few of them right now. So very, very good answers there. So for instance, the first C, clarity. It is important that your brand contains a sense of purpose that appeals to people's values, their needs, and connects them on an emotional level. So in order to do this, your brand should have clarity, first C. So in other words, does your brand have a clear purpose and show substance, like core values, beliefs, etc.? So for example, a student in counseling may feel that their purpose is to help others with their personal and mental health concerns in order to help them have a better life. So that is being clear, or being clear in their clarity. So secondly, your brand needs to be coherent, second C, in the sense that you are using the right tone and style to connect and network with others. And it is well known that 80% of professionals consider networking critical to career development. And if your communication style is coherent, this will help immensely. So you always want to make sure you have clear, coherent communication like that going forward. Finally, the last C, you need to demonstrate commitment in your brand by articulating clear, attainable goals over time. And these don't have to be big, grandiose plans like what you will be in 20 years, but by having a clear vision of who you want to be and how you will get there will help create short and long-term goals over the journey of your career development. And remember, it is all right to change direction over time. It happens to a lot of us. However, by having a clear, broad plan in the present, this will help to prime your decisions according to that plan, or general over time. So for example, by crafting a personal and professional business plan for yourself is one way of demonstrating commitment in your brand. So the 3 main C's: clarity, coherence, and commitment in your brand to make it a bona fide brand in that respect. Okay, so another way of looking at a personal brand, I just wanted to share this Venn diagram with you that I found. So on the screen, we see three intersecting circles, the why, the how, and the what. And this helps to illustrate where your brand is found. So when you establish the why, that's the first circle that we see up at the top. So this speaks to your values and the purpose. And the second circle, the what, behaviors and how you develop your products and services. And the third circle is the how, so what makes you special and your beliefs and point of difference about yourself. So when we look at these three circles, your personal brand is found right here in the middle amongst the why, the how, and the what. And so that's just another way of just sort of looking to see where your personal brand is found. Okay, so now I wanted to share with you an example of a personal brand in a student's resume. So something that we've all been waiting for. So I'd like to introduce you to Anya. So she is an MACP student who is looking for a practicum placement to complete her degree requirements. So she has decided to insert the following statement under her professional profile on her resume that she will send out to potential employers. And so Anya states that she is an empathetic, compassionate, and highly knowledgeable master's student in counseling psychology with 7+ years case management work in social services, seeking a practicum placement with the goal of providing high quality care and support to clients affected by trauma. Highly competent in multiple counseling modalities, as well as crisis intervention and conflict resolution. So let's see where Anya has put in the 4 main components as well as the 3 C's. So we can see them in yellow highlight here in red lettering. So first of all, so she's shown her uniqueness within the top and the bottom statements where she states that she is empathetic, compassionate, and a highly knowledgeable MACP student and is highly competent in multiple counseling modalities, crisis intervention, and conflict resolution. So we can see where she's sprinkled in her uniqueness and she's done it very, very well. Next, Anya has shown her expertise with 7+ years case management experience. And we see this right in the middle of her professional profile like that. So that is her expertise. Next, we see her end game benefit and her audience with her statement, goal of providing high quality care and support to clients affected by trauma. So the end game benefit is the goal of providing high quality care, and her clientele are clients affected by trauma. So we can easily see how she has incorporated the 4 components very well. And having said this, this specific and descriptive branding statement will help Anya stand out amongst hundreds of applicants because she has made her personal branding statement very clear, coherent, and has demonstrated commitment in what she's looking for in a practicum placement. So we certainly wish her well. So now I would like to have my colleague Snigdha present to you how we can strengthen and manage our brand, as well as to how to use it in your job search. And so Snigdha, over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Heather, for explaining what a personal branding is and how you can write a personal brand to maximize your chances of being a candidate of interest. So dear audience, now I'm going to ask you a question and I would absolutely love your feedback. So how can you strengthen your personal brand? Wow, I am already seeing some of the responses. So I can see that one of the member of our audience already mentioned all of the above. And also another one mentioned differentiate your unique value proposition. So that's absolutely right. I can see actually 4 responses that all of the above. Yeah, thank you so much for your feedback. Yeah, that's absolutely true that, you know, you can strengthen your personal brand by say building a website, establishing yourself on social media, which actually I'm going to discuss in the next few slides. Thank you so much for your feedback. All right. So now I would like to discuss what strategies you can use to create and strengthen your personal brand. So some of the strategies are developing your brand story and differentiate your unique value proposition. So it is super important that you develop a unique value proposition and which is your powerful marketing message. So your value proposition should answer the employer's question, why should they hire you instead of other candidates? So Heather has already mentioned about it in one of the earlier slides, but I want to expand it in a bit here. So in order to create your unique value proposition, Determine the qualifications, skills, and areas of expertise that set you apart from rest of the candidates. So ask these questions to yourself. What combination of the things do you have to offer that no one else does? What makes you worth the high cost of hiring? What makes you the best hiring choice? So some of the examples of your unique value proposition can be that you speak multiple languages, or you have international work experience, or you are well connected to the community that can add extra value to an employer. All right. So another important strategy that you can employ to strengthen your personal brand is obviously building a website and also portfolio. So once you have your brand story and you develop the unique value proposition, so you will need to create a place where you can share it with the rest of the world. And that's where actually having a website and portfolios come in. So when creating a more in-depth site, there are 4 essentials that generally you can include. For example, an About Me page, an experience, education, and training page, a professional photo, and a contact page. But obviously, you can include other elements depending on your areas of expertise, obviously. So like your website, your portfolio is also very important. So what actually is your portfolio? So your portfolio is a visually coordinated, fully cohesive creative work on its own. So it is a creative job which is packaged like a product and clearly thought out. So you can include anything positive to your portfolio, including your certificates and awards, samples of school projects, writing samples, any accomplishment and in school, etc. So some of the platforms that you can use for creating your portfolios are like GitHub, Behance, CarbonMate, Dribble, just a couple of them I just mentioned, but for sure that depending on again your areas of expertise and your major, you can also find out more platforms for your portfolio. All right. So the next strategy, which is you already responded to this question, establishing yourself on social media. So now that you have a website and portfolio, so you want to get those in front of as many people as possible by engaging with people on social media platforms such as LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, newer but powerful platform also Clubhouse. So which networks you choose will depend on who your target audience is. And so the best idea is, look at where your target audience spend more time online and what networks they use for their business. So this will definitely help you to narrow down which networks are most applicable for your personal branding. All right, so another super important strategy is leveraging LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a non-negotiable social network when it comes to your brand and job search. So LinkedIn is so much more than a social media network or a place to house your online resume. So I will expand on LinkedIn in the next 2 slides. Okay, so another important strategy is creating content. So sharing other people's content on social media will get you only so far. So instead, start creating your own content. So this could be, a blog post, an ebook, an infographic, or even a video. So this content lives on the website and is a great way to attract your audience to learn more. So people may visit your site to read a blog post that probably answer a question, but instead to learn more about your brand. So you can create the content in your resume, LinkedIn profile, etc. in such a way that will compel employers to see you as the best fit hiring choice. All right, and the next strategy is obviously maintaining your personal brand. So another important strategy to strengthen your personal brand is to maintain the brand that you created, which I will discuss a bit later in my presentation. All right, okay. So as I mentioned earlier, LinkedIn is so much more than a social media network. So if you want to build your personal brand, accelerate your job search and also land a good fit job faster, then you need to get busy on LinkedIn. So being active on LinkedIn is very important because recruiters and hiring decision makers at your target companies rely heavily on LinkedIn. So when they are searching or assessing job candidates. So a clearly presented personal brand that is visible on LinkedIn will be easily found by employers and recruiters looking for someone like you. So what will actually happen if you are not visible on LinkedIn? Well, if the employers do not find you on LinkedIn, you may be virtually invisible to them. And also say if you have a minimal or mediocre presence on LinkedIn, they are going to wonder whether you know how to navigate the new world of work. And obviously navigating the social media platform is also an indication that you know how to navigate the continuous changing world of work. All right, so on the other hand, say if you have a strong and active presence on LinkedIn and your personal brand is evident in your LinkedIn profile, you have probably increased your chances of being a candidate of interest to potential employer. Okay. So now let's see, how you can make LinkedIn work for your job search and personal brand. So there are many ways you can use LinkedIn for your job search and your personal brand. So the first step is creating a winning LinkedIn profile. So in order to be more findable to employers, your LinkedIn profile needs to contain the right keywords and phrases, skills and qualifications in your headline and also in your about sections. So that should be positioned in the right way so that your profile lands high in search results for those keywords. So recruiters and hiring authorities search for candidates on LinkedIn using keywords that is relevant to the skill sets and qualifications they are looking for in people. And this is called search engines optimization. So you can create a search engines optimization friendly, professional headline and billboard and your personal brand story in your about or your summary section. So beyond the about or summary section and experience and education sections, you should fully populate every other applicable profile sections, including the little use sections like languages, like volunteering experiences, organizations, honors and awards, courses, patents, publications, projects, and certifications. So the next thing that you definitely can do using your LinkedIn is to connect with people. So on LinkedIn, you can reach out and connect with people you already know, but also you can also target and research specific employers that are a good fit for you. So targeting and research are also critical for defining and communicating your personal brand. So LinkedIn groups also give you the opportunity to mingle with others in your industry. And there are groups for almost everything that you can think of. So look up your industry and see what actually pops up, sorry. Okay, and the next thing is obviously influence. So once you create an outstanding profile on LinkedIn and connect with your target employers, you need to express your talents to influence your targeted audience, through your insights and contributions. So please note that LinkedIn is also a great publishing tool. So part of the establishing your personal brand is furnishing proof of your expertise and areas of interest. So LinkedIn's publishing platform lets you write articles on any subject. So those articles will stay with your LinkedIn account forever. So you are building a solid block of evidence that you are the industry expert you claim to be, or it will demonstrate your areas of interest. So LinkedIn has so many features and they are frequently enhancing it with new ones. So please start looking at your LinkedIn account and see what actually you can do and how you can maximize its use. So I would like to mention one thing is that, creating a winning profile in LinkedIn is itself a separate topic, and which is beyond the scope of our today's webinar. But my awesome colleagues, Amanda and Andrew, so they have done a fabulous webinar on how to create a LinkedIn profile. So please check out our career pages, our website, and also our YouTube channel. And I'm sure that you will greatly benefit from that webinar as well. All right, so here I actually included an example of a winning LinkedIn profile and personal branding of the personal branding expert Meg Gusipe. So whether someone is using a computer or a smartphone, this is the first section visible when someone visits your profile page. So that is the part of your profile that will be seen most often. So you can see that the smartphone view is similar to the desktop view, but not exactly the same. So viewers will see many, but not all of the, of the same elements in their smartphones as they do on their computers. So let me briefly explain all the sections which have been indicated by numbers. The first one that shows is like your billboard. So basically this is your background of your profile picture, and this is actually a great place to showcase your brand statement. And number 2 indicated your professional picture, your photo. Number 3 indicated your name. Number 4 indicated your professional headline. Again, this is a great place where you can pick up the keyword and key skills, which will be also relevant to the search engines optimization, relevant to your personal branding. So number 4 indicated your professional headline that I just mentioned you. Number 5 indicated your location, which is also important if you're looking for a job in your local area. Number 6 indicated most recent job. Number 7 indicated most recent education. Number 8 indicated see contact info. Number 9 indicated connections, and number 10 indicated your about or summary section. And this is a very important section where you can actually write down your story, your brand statement, and that will for sure attract your target audience. So except for number 8, all of the elements are visible in both views of your profile's introduction card. All right. Okay. So now you know how to create and strengthen your personal brand, but it is also important to know the strategies on how you can manage your personal brand. So here are some of the strategies that I listed. Obviously, this list is not inclusive, but these are some measure of the strategies that you can do in order to manage your personal brand. So the first one is relevance. So you need to stay on brand and relevant while being visible to your target employers. So keep your online brand messaging relevant to your target and build it around what will resonate with them. So position yourself on sites that are relevant to and frequented by your target audience. Okay, the second is quality. So make sure no digital dirt tarnishes your brand. So search your name on Google and other major, search engines. So depending upon the source of your any bad result, search result, if you have any, then you may be able to replace those spots with good ones by generating more search results and gradually pushing the negative ones of the first page of the results and down to the bottom of the list. So diversity. So if you create several online profiles with the same information, that may not be enough for maintaining your brand. But you have done your branding work and created, say, your resume, biography, LinkedIn profile, and other career marketing materials. You should have a suite of documents to establish your branding. And don't forget to include the things that you are passionate about, which can be away from your work, and they are all part of your brand. Number 4 is volume. So work on continuously building more and more search results for your name. So this increases your number of diverse and accurate results on the first few pages. And number 5, obviously consistency. Heather also mentioned that in one of the slides. So you need to express the same personal brand messages across all communication channels that you decide to use. So ask these questions. Is the message that you are sending to recruiters and networking connections consistent? When they look at each of your various public social media accounts, will they get the same impression? So what I do in my case is that I usually use the same professional profile photo to all of my major social media platform, just to resonate my brand identity through my profile picture. All right. Okay. So now I would like to discuss one of the very important topic, which is the essential personal brand content for your job search. So personal branding for job search is a method to differentiate the good fit qualities and value you offer to your target employers over those competing against you. So by aligning your key areas of expertise, driving strengths, passions, and relevant personal attributes with your target employers' current needs, your brand makes you stand out from rest of the crowd. So therefore, you will need to create content for these 6 forms of job search communications. So please note that each of the job search communications that I'm going to discuss, they are completely separate topics on their own, and they actually demand a separate webinar on their own. So here I am going to just briefly discuss about each of the 6 communication channels that you can use in order to, just to maximize your personal brand. Okay, so the first one is very important, is brand positioning statement. So brand positioning statement is a brief 3 to 5 line paragraph that links your areas of expertise, obviously using the most relevant keywords that you have identified with your key personal attributes in content that will resonate with your target employers. So Heather has already provided an example of brand positioning example in one of the earlier slides. All right, the second important content that you can create for your job search is obviously resume. So your resume is a very, very powerful marketing tool where you can showcase your personal branding through your brand positioning statement in the profile section of your resume. So you can also focus on your personal branding through a well-structured, headline right after your name and contact information in the heading. So a keyword optimized resume headline is an opening line or the hook that actually attracts the recruiters to read further and showcase your brand identity. For example, say if you are a recent graduate in project management, then your actually headline can be recent business graduate with internship experience in project management. That will definitely tell your brand identity that you are a recent graduate in project management. All right. The next one is career biography. So career biography can be an essential personal brand content for your job search because it's a better storytelling vehicle than your resume. So your bio helps, employers assess you at work and also envision you contributing to the success of the company. So this is also really important content that you can produce. The next thing, obviously, LinkedIn profile. So use both your resume and bio to create this content on LinkedIn. So once you build your branded profile, get busy on relevant LinkedIn groups, starting and participating in discussions where you can showcase your subject matter expertise. So I already discussed LinkedIn in my earlier slides. All right. So another very important personal brand content that you can do for your job search is email signature tagline. So turn your personal brand statement into a hard-hitting, concise tagline in your email signature. So I will provide an example of the email signature tagline in next slide. All right, so another important brand content for your job search is obviously your elevator pitch, or like tell me about yourself question in your interview. So if you cannot tell people exactly, what you have to offer and what you want, like what type of job, in what geographical location and industry, they won't be able to help you reach your career goals. So that is also important that you create your elevator pitch to showcase your personal branding for your job search. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, that I will, show you a email signature tagline example. So this actually I have taken up from the personal branding expert Meg Busipe's article. So I'm going to read aloud for you. So this is like tireless innovator in new product development, strategic planning, marketing, and commercialization, envisioning opportunity where others see complexity. So you see that this email signature tagline clearly showcases your personal branding and what value you can offer to an employer or your target audience. All right. So this is another example. I use the previous example and I expanded a little bit just to showcase you how you can develop an elevator pitch that can showcase your personal brand identity for your target audience. So I'm a tireless innovator in new product development, strategic planning, marketing, and commercialization for the medical device industry. So I am seeking a senior level marketing position in the geographical location area, for example, in Vancouver area, and two of my companies I'm targeting are, then you are gonna list the targeting company that you are targeting. So again, this also clearly shows that, you know, what is your value proposition and what actually, you know, what values and what unique offerings that you have for your targeting audience. All right. So other important brand content for your job search can be, you know, Facebook, Twitter, you know, starting and maintaining your own blog site or guest blogging, writing on your professional association website, or writing book reviews as well. So again, as I mentioned, that each of these communication channels can be a separate topic for discussion, but today I'm just you know, briefly talk about it. All right, so I am going to pass over my awesome colleague Heather for rest of the presentation. Heather, it's to you.
Thank you so much for that, Snigdha. All right, so I just wanted to conclude with this unique quote, which emphasizes the importance of personal branding, and that is, be yourself because everyone else is taken, meaning that you only have your life to live and no one else's. So you have your own unique talents, qualities that are waiting or have been discovered, and these are qualities that can be used to create value, inspiration, and leadership in the world. And finally, I wanted to advertise our job board section. So last fall, 2021, we launched our Yorkville job board, and I highly suggest that you check it regularly as we receive job leads on a regular basis. And when we do, we post them straight away. So this page is available exclusively to Yorkville University students. So you will need your YU login credentials to access it. So please come and visit us. And that brings us to the end of our presentation. I wanted to thank everyone for participating today and sharing your time with us. And please know that Career Services is always here to support you at every stage of your career planning journey. That's why we exist. And you can reach out to us at any time via email at careerservices@yorkvilleu.ca or careerservices@torontofilmschool.ca. And I have repeated the website address of our career portal at the bottom of the slide. So please be sure to check it out. And with that, we are now happy to take any questions and hear from the audience. So if you could please pop them in the Q&A or feel free to ask verbally, that'd be great. Thank you so much, everyone. And Alex, over to you.
I'm on mute. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Heather. And thank you, Snigdha, for a fantastic presentation on developing your personal brand and using it in job search. One thing I learned myself and I'm going to do going forward is really considering all of those aspects, all of those very specific aspects, like who your audience is, where can you find them? What do you want to bring? What's your unique value? And really getting specific on your personal brand so that you're unique in your search and in who you are as a professional. So thank you. It was great learning about how to market yourself, your accomplishments, and everything that you've achieved. After all, a candidate with a strong personal brand will always stand out in the eyes of employers and in the eyes of your professional connection. So thank you again both for that. We do have some fantastic questions coming in throughout today's presentation. So I'd love if we could start with our Q&A portion. Again, like Heather said, if you haven't already sent in a question and there's one on your mind, feel free to do so now as we're taking questions on an ongoing basis. Okay, so let's get started with our first question here. So we have a question here that says, I'm not sure what my unique value proposition is. How can I figure it out?
Okay, so I'm actually happy to take this. So thank you so much for such a great question. So your unique value proposition, I would encourage you to look at your education, past experiences, and these don't have to be jobs. These could be volunteer, these could be activities that you did. Maybe you played on a sports team, or maybe you played a musical instrument or something to that degree. I would actually write out what you've done in terms of education, experience, activities from the time you were young to present day, and then just sort of quantify, okay, what makes me me in that respect, and just sort of work from there. And if you need any help or any coaching, please contact one of us to help you craft that, because I know it definitely takes time. And so I hope that helps to answer your question that just in that respect. But you probably have a lot of hidden talents and qualities that are just waiting to be untapped. And so please reach out to us.
Great.
And may I add something to Heather, to your quote? So one of the also great ways to understand your value proposition to explore your skills, and that skills can be your your technical skills and also can be your soft skills. And how you can explore that skills is to look at also your coursework. I know that probably most of our audience are our students. So for example, if you are a project management student, you can look at your coursework and to see what technical skills you have learned. For example, you have learned the SWOT analysis, right? This is a very unique value proposition that you can offer to improve a particular process in a company. I'm just giving an example. So this is how you can actually focus on your unique value proposition, and you can actually market that unique value proposition to an employer. And our career services can help you to go through a skills assessment. It's called Skill Scan. So please reach out to us. We will be happy to help you to explore more on this topic.
Great. Thank you, Snigdha. Thank you, Heather, for your fantastic insight. And I think that leads us actually into our second question, which is, I'm a student. I haven't yet worked in the field I plan on pursuing. What should I focus on when I'm developing my personal brand?
So one thing that I would focus on first and foremost is, what do you love to do? What makes you happy? Like, what are you passionate about? And just sort of start from there. Just start with those baby steps, just to sort of tap into what are your interests and what do you like to do? And then just sort of scaffold and build from there. And then as Snigdha said, the skill scan assessment is excellent for sort of quantifying those terms that you could use to sort of build your personal brand just in that respect. And so just start with those baby steps. Just what are you interested in? What do you like? What do you love? What are you passionate about? And then just sort of build from there. And then again, we're more than happy to help you just in that respect.
Yeah, may I just add a little bit just to expand it? So Heather just already mentioned is that one thing you need to mindful is that your target audience will love a story. A story is very, very powerful. Just remember that, say, if you attended presentation and you see all kind of data chart, do you really remember that? I don't remember the data. But if I hear a powerful story, which resonate your passion, your values, what actually means a lot to you, right? So if you can write a really strong story based on your previous experience, or even the experience that probably related to your upbringing, or your community, like anything that can actually resonate your powerful value proposition, and that can mean a lot actually to an employer as well.
Add something to that, because from the question, I think the person was curious about what will make them stand out in the new career that they're choosing. And sort of piggybacking on what you just said about stories, Snigdha, if you think about what was it that drew your interest to pursuing this new degree and this new career, I think that there's probably some clues in that interest and that passion and that decision to do your degree. Would you agree?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that there's probably some drive there. There was maybe like a life change or something like that. And just sort of use that story. Yeah, because that's what people remember. They remember the stories. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you, everyone. We'll just head into a few more questions here. And we have this one right here, which is, how do I know if my personal brand is coming across the way I want it to my intended audience?
Okay, can I take this on?
For sure.
Okay, so that involves some background research to know your audience and to know their feedback, right? So for example, say if you're gonna use LinkedIn, so and then you can know whether you are able to reach out to your target audience by reading their reactions, right, to understanding their specific need. And for example, if you are trying to pursue some clients, then obviously you are going to know whether you are able to generate new clientele or not, right? Because if you are able to pursue your target audience, then they will be able to reach out to you for meeting their need, right? So that definitely involves doing some research and also your analyzing your feedback, your target audience's feedback. So that will be my response. Heather, do you want to add something?
No, I think you explained it very beautifully, Snigdha, but well done.
Yeah, and one thing is that when you targeted your audience, you need to do a thorough research that Heather already mentioned. So that research should be also the demographic and also the psychological need of your audience as well. This is also very powerful, right? You need to understand what actually you can do that will hook their psychology and meet their need, right? So yeah, so I just wanted to just add. Yeah, thank you.
That's wonderful, Snigdha. And if I could add just one little tidbit, so just to piggyback on what Snigdha said, so you want to almost think like your audience, like what do they need and what are they looking for, like that. You want to really sort of empathize with them and then craft your personal branding statement like that'll catch them like that. So I just want to add that you want to think like them. So
Fantastic.
Thanks for the great question. Awesome question.
Yeah.
Great. Just checking the time here. I think we have time for one more question before we wrap up today. And this is a fun question. I loved when they got this question in the chat here. And that's, I know someone who owns a small business and she posts a lot on social media. She always wears the color purple. Is that part of her personal brand?
I think so. Yeah. Did you want to comment to that, Snigdha? I don't know a whole lot about the psychology of the color purple, but I'd be willing to argue that this entrepreneur, very successful entrepreneur who's putting themselves out on social media, because that is a great step. The fact that she's wearing purple all the time, that sort of like builds her personal brand on sort of like a which I call almost like a marketing paraphernalia level like that. So that's very smart, very wise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
in response to that question, it can be. Obviously, it can be. And what do you think you need to remember is that, everything involves a strategy behind it, right? For example, if you're going to use a specific color in your branding, there has to be some rationale from your side. Okay, why I'm using this color? Like, how does it really, resonate with my personal branding? So, for example, I know that one of the persons I follow, she always uses orange color. Always, like everywhere on logo. So the moment I see her email, I do not need to read it. I know that it is her. So yeah, so that can be strategic for sure. So whatever you are going to use, make sure that you know what is the purpose of using that specific color in your personal branding.
Great, thank you. And definitely, I think I love those answers because I think that shows that our personal brand can extend well beyond, what we write or what we say, but even down to things like what we wear and, how we're showcasing our social media posts and all of that. Like, you remember Facebook, Twitter, they use the colors blue, Google, you remember all of the different colors of certain brands, and it can be that way for ourselves as well, if that's what we choose to do. So thank you. And thank you again, Snigdha and Heather, for answering those questions today. I do want to remind everyone that if you have any additional questions or would like one-to-one support when it comes to planning your career, we're here to help you. Please reach out to our Career Services Department. You can reach us at careerservices@yorkvilleu.ca, and we're basically here to support you as students and alumni in your pathway from education to the workplace. If you liked this presentation and want more information on all sorts of career planning topics, from how to identify your career options to networking to crafting a tailored resume, again, head to our career portal website. I know it has been popped into the chat. I always encourage you to bookmark this website, as we have a job board and we're always posting new positions where our employer partners are looking for someone like you. They've reached out to us for a reason, so keep a note of our job board. If you liked this presentation, we do have another one coming up on Tuesday, June 21st at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, all about leveraging your social media as a creative in the digital world. It will be hosted by myself and my fantastic colleague, Emma Hartley. Emma, would you mind sharing just a little bit about our upcoming presentation?
Yeah, and it's going to lead in very well from today's session. So if you want more, if you want to level up even to the next level, please do join us June 21st at 2 p.m. We're going to be talking about how to put out your social brand, how to put out your personal brand on social media and being very specific about it. So join us, learn how to drive people to your work and learn more about you. We're going to talk about tools that you can use to enhance your web presence and very concrete practical tips on how to stand out to potential employers and clients. So please do join myself and Alex there.
Great, thank you so much, Emma. And Emma also popped the link to that webinar in the chat. So if you'd like to register now, go ahead and sign on up. Other than that, I would like to say a special thanks to all of you in our audience for joining today. We really appreciate you coming out here. And again, thank you, Snigdha and Heather, for presenting today. So I'd like to say, have a great day, everyone, and we hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Have a lovely day.